it's me again. It's been a while since I've posted on YouTube, but I've been wanting to make some videos again, and I've had a couple of ideas floating around in my head, and I've decided to start filming one today. We are looking at my Mordheim collection. I absolutely love Mordheim, and it's probably my favourite system. It's the one that I've probably played the most over the last couple of years. 40k was how I got into Warhammer, but Mordheim is where I found my love. Not only because of the smaller war bands of miniatures that you need, but also I just find the models really cool. So I'm going to show you a little bit of what I've got. Well, I'm actually going to show you all of what I've got, and then we're probably going to do some painting videos afterwards. But for now, I'm going to show you the collection. We're going to get it sorted, and today we're going to be putting it in a Warmag case. So this video is not sponsored by Warmag. However, small disclaimer, Warmag have sent me some of the items that I'm going to be using today, but not all of the items I'm going to be using today, as I have purchased some of Warmag with my own money. So let's crack on. This is my first two boxes of things that I need to kind of decide where they're going. This is my backlog. This is it. Kind of. I'm going to put these to one side, and I think we will correlate everything that is currently built. I would like to say things that are currently painted, but I don't think anything is currently painted. And then the next video we will go on to building, because I'd like to get all of my Mordheim things built that aren't my kit bashes, and then we will move on to painting. Yes. And this box technically is Mordheim as well. This is my 15mm Mordheim. This is my baby. I love this so much. So we'll put this to one side for now. And then this is basically the rest of the kits that I own. So it's a lot. So we'll just pop them to one side for now. So like I say, I absolutely love Warmag. It is my favourite way to store things. These are going to look a little empty. I have been on a downsizing journey this year with Warhammer and miniature painting, which is going to come as its own little video where I'll talk about how I've done some of that. But I don't think there's actually anything in these other than the actual box that we need. I do actually have my Goblins on Board box. These are my Age of Sigmar goblins. They are all... One actually broke the other day, which is what I think I can hear rattling around. Oh, it's actually one that I haven't Warmag, but I randomly found in one of my boxes and realised it needs to go in here. I did really enjoy start painting these, and then I got into other things, quite simply. But they survived the downsizing. So I have that army. This box is my 40k orcs. I've always been an orc lover at heart. This is pretty much empty, if I'm honest. I'm actually ready to restart my 40k army. I might actually be playing 5th edition with these rather than 10th edition. Are we on 10th for now? Leviathan was 10th, I think. But I'm really excited. I just have some boys for now, but that is going to be that one. This one is going to be the Mordheim band. So this is where we are going to be keeping everything from now on. I have thrown a couple of little guys in there for now. So this is going to be the box. I have all pink matching boxes because I am extra. And I really like being able to go in my cupboard and seeing all of the boxes matching. I have different bottom cases though. So this is the one we're going to be using. And this is where the fun starts, and some may say ends as well, including this one. These are all my bits, part built kits, miniatures that I've wanted to keep but I'm not quite sure what I was going to do with. And I thought we could just go through the stuff out here, which is going to be Mordheim. Now, there is some bits which are kind of mixed bag Mordheim. So, for example, in this kit, we have piggies from Bad Squiddo. We also have bunnies from Bad Squiddo. And then I think the ducks are also from Bad Squiddo, but please do not quote me on that. The bunnies, the ducks, and the pigs will all be included in Mordheim. However, they will be part of the building vlog. We then have a kit of ultramarine bits. We then have undead bits, which are awesome and we will probably put to one side ready for Mordheim. I think some of this will come super in handy. And then we have the faces and heads box. Probably won't use, so that can go back in the cupboard. I think we'll keep the undead and the animals out, and then we will put the ultramarines back. This is my goblins bits box. It matches my Warmag case. It has all of my goblin bits in. I would like to continue on with my Age of Sigmar Gloomspite kits, but I think it's going to be starting that probably in 2026 now. I do have quite a few ideas for it. So I'll just put that to one side and that can go back in the cupboard. Now we are at the really fun stuff. So this is a box filled with miniatures. Inside of here we have lots, to be honest. We have lots of different bits and pieces. So the first thing we need to do with this one is go through and pick what is going to be part of our Mordheim collection. And then similarly, we also have this box here. And this has a lot of variation. We also have some really old miniatures in this collection here. I will eventually add them to my Mordheim collection. Once upon a time this was all labelled correctly. I don't think it is labelled correctly anymore, but that is fine. So as I said, we're going to start on this collection of bits. Going through it, I'm just pulling out the boxes that I know are relevant. So in here I do have them separated up. However, yes, they are definitely not organised properly. The second box is a little bit more organised. We have a couple of different manufacturers in here, including Games Workshop. I'm not quite sure who those metal minis are from anymore. And then we have some minis from Bad Squiddo as well. I'm mainly pulling out anything I think can be used as NPCs or as enemies for my players. And onto the actual boxes that I initially pulled out. These are all bats. I have a lot of bats. I think I have owned 3 cursed cities in my hobby time. I think the miniatures are really, really nice in Cursed City. However, it's a shame about the game. And then onto some Underworlds. I think it's Underworlds. Vampires. I often will pick up Underworld kits and use them as NPCs because I just think these are absolutely awesome. Some of my favourite vampire sculpts of all time, I think. More bats for some reason. And then I think we are on to the rats. Again, all from Cursed City. I think these are such cute little miniatures. And I love the idea that potentially you could go into a house and get bombarded with lots of rats. Next up is another vampire. This is actually a kit bash with a head swap, and then we are back to Bad Squiddo Annie, the travelling shopkeeper, which I love. And I have no idea who these are from. I am so sorry. If you know, please comment it. And then a lot of zombies. My zombies are variations from Games Workshop and Fireforge games as well for the other ones. Another Underworld character. And then these are Arkworld halflings. They are my favourite things at the moment. To go with them, we have some additional halflings from Bad Squiddo Games, which are really cool little miniatures that still hold so much detail, which I was just so impressed with. And then the last box, I think this is my Frenzied Mob. I picked this up for surprisingly cheap off a bring and buy in York, and I will never get over how much I love these miniatures. They are original Games Workshop metal Mordheim miniatures, I don't think I'll ever get to own any original Mordheim miniatures other than these, and this was an absolute fluke that I got to pick this up. I will never sell these, even on my deathbed. They will have to go to my great-great-grandkids. We do have one of the Frenzied Mob, which is broken, so I'm actually going to put him back in his box and put him away, and we will deal with him when we do some of the kit bashing and the building. So now we're ready to start magnetizing and potentially as well rebasing some of these. So I am going to grab my clippers and my knife and put my hobby mat down just in case, as I think we are going to have to do a little bit of TLC on some of these. The main thing for me is ensuring that the bottom is nice and flat and that all the miniatures are in a good condition, and then I can go ahead and start magnetizing and also clipping the underneath of the bases as well if I do need to flatten those bases, if I can. If not, I am just going to half and half the magnet so that the magnet fits around the slotter base, and that is it. We're basically going to do this for the rest of the video, so I'm going to let you listen to a bit of lo-fi while I crack on, and I will see you once we've finished. Okay, we are all tidied up, everything has been made, and I have pretty much got everything in the box now. So, last couple of bits that I had to base, I'm just gonna pop in the box, and I did kind of have a pattern to this. I don't need to have a pattern to it, I'm just being extra, really. Right. Okay, everything's staying quite nicely, and there we go. Obviously they are a lot more scattered around than they would be should I need this to be fuller, I guess. I absolutely can move some of this around, and I could even probably make it tighter than I'm making it right now. In here we now have quite a lot, which I'm impressed by. Very happy about this. We have a lot of odds and ends in here. When it comes to Mordheim, we do like to play quite role-play. We do like to kind of house rule some stuff as well. I absolutely love the game type where you sort of roll the dice and there might be treasure in it. And with that, because of the houses that we actually have houses with scenery on the inside, we can blue tack a treasure token down in one of them, mix them all up, and then we get to take the lid off the house each time, which is really good fun. However, I wanted to start introducing more roleplay elements to it, of having NPCs, and not just NPCs but enemies as well, to make it a little bit more fun. Maybe you open a house and actually a horde of rats come out of it rather than the treasure you were hoping for. Or we could do a table where you go around a corner that you potentially didn't see as an attacker on a village, so you may not have scouted the area, and you go around the corner and there is a vampire lord. Plus, with this as well, there is warbands within this I would be able to play. I have one of the ones that I did show off was Annie the shopkeeper or the travelling merchant from Bad Squiddo. I like the idea that maybe you might visit Annie on a long road and see what trinkets or what you may be able to sell some of your items for, or if she was to hold some magic potions, health potions. I have my halflings at the top here. My halflings are currently what I am focusing the most on doing a halfling warband with. We obviously have the fighters, the mage, and some other guys. They are a mix of Bad Squiddo and Arkworld. I want the rest of the Arkworld halflings. They have halfling cavalry as well as some other really cool ones like a dung thrower and a cook pot, which is really cute. So I'm going to be picking them up at some point. But yeah, we have a lot here to work with. Probably my most treasured possession in this is my frenzied mob. Obviously we left one behind that we will have to fix, but that's fine. On the next video, I have quite a bit I want to build. So I want to build the animal interacting tokens / NPCs. So the piggies, the rabbits and the ducks. And then I want to finish the rest of this group here that I currently have a witch hunter. I want to do the rest of the witch hunters. I also would like to do some more kit bashing on my halflings. However, I may leave that to another episode. I definitely don't need much more. I already have a lot here. We actually have enough here for a vampire or an undead warband as well. So we have loads in here. And the reason as well why I want to do this is because I love introducing Mordheim to people and I love having the options. So eventually I would like to break into all of the different warbands. I'd like to do different collections of minis that people could come around and just play. We have had people pick up pretty quickly Mordheim, and we know quite a few people that play Mordheim as well. So we've got a lot to get started on. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I have like 3 hours of footage to hopefully get down to about a half an hour mark. So I hope you enjoy what we've kind of gone through, and hopefully you may have learned something. It's been really fun filming for YouTube again, so thank you everybody that watches this, anybody that likes or subscribes. I really appreciate it. I think I will eventually do some more painting tutorials / just paint with me, and some more build with me, and hopefully make this into a bit of a series and yeah, show off some of the things I'm passionate about. Been very lucky with my annual leave this week, but I think it's pushed me in the right direction to get making videos again. So thank you very much. I hope you have a wonderful week and I will see you soon. Bye bye.